Welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Join us for the latest in news, views, and conversation with community leaders. The Pulse of Spokane is brought to you in part by Breakthrough Incorporated and Homes for You. Now, put your finger on the Pulse of Spokane.
Well, welcome to the Pulse of Spokane. Kent Adams here in our new studio. And we'll do some video of our studio in the next week or so and show you. We moved all the way upstairs, which actually was quite a chore. But fortunately, we had a bunch of folks under 30 that could help us move things, the heavy stuff up. But we're here. We have more space, a second studio that you'll soon see, and it'll be kind of fun. Three guests this morning, great topics, good information for you today. First is Jeff Holy from the Washington 6th District. He's been a representative and is running for Senate right now. We're going to talk about some things that were done to him online and so forth this last few days. Then Bonnie Bell Andersen is here from Triad Wealth, and we're going to talk about managing your money, and she's writing a book to help pro athletes manage their money. We've heard the bad stories at times that they go through their money. She's going to be there to help those folks. And then Dr. Redinger from School District 81, or the superintendent, is going to be here to talk about the bond issue. All next on the Pulse of Spokane.
The economy is getting stronger. Banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Is your child having trouble coping with a personal disability, but don't know where to go? Consider our friends at Breakthrough Incorporated. Breakthrough takes great pride in mentoring their DDA clients who have intellectual disabilities and their BRS clients who have challenging behaviors toward the creation of safe, appropriate, ethically sound life goals. They integrate programs at school and home to enrich their lives. They work hard to make a positive difference in you and your family's lives. Breakthrough provides a highly structured, fully staffed residential setting in local neighborhoods, 6 in Spokane and 2 in the Tri-Cities. Diagnoses affect people differently, so their service to each resident is unique, giving them the opportunity to grow and evolve. For more information on Breakthrough, visit their website at breakthroughincorporated.org.
I really like the shower.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Take your time.
Well, welcome back. Kent Adams here. I hope you're having a good day, and it looks like we're headed to this Friday to have a little bit of rain. I think I saw somewhere around 70 to 90%. So that's going to be my errand day, which means they're going to be running in and out of places getting wet. But that's how life is. Jeff Holy, how are you?
Kent Adams, I'm doing just dandy.
All right. I wanted you on today because I've noticed online and the discussion on Facebook and everything else that someone did something to you and kind of in a lot of ways blamed you, and you've gotten some heat for it. And that was a mailer that went out that was encouraging voting against your opponent, but for somebody else on the Democrat side. And it used fake logos, and not fake logos, but stole logos from other places. And was that you that did that?
Jeez. Kent, thank you for finally asking the question.
Yeah,
It gives me time to speak to this.
Right.
Not no, but hell no. That
Okay.
wasn't mine. This is one of those things that I've tried to run a straight-up campaign
Right.
ever since the very beginning. I've hated the vitriol in politics.
Yeah.
And I just do what I'm going to do keep driving a little bit towards the goal.
Right.
These are outside influences as a result of the Citizens United holding
Okay.
from 2010 that allows independent expenditures to occur. You have outside players that are starting to play in our election here, and it just drives me nuts.
And the fact is, they don't communicate with the candidates, do they?
They're
not allowed to.
I had no idea this
Yeah.
happened. Matter of fact, I'm to the point where I'm somewhere between things I can't say on the air and
Right.
live it somewhere
Yeah.
in that continuum
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
A matter of fact, what I did is and by the way, this isn't just here. This is 4 separate districts across the
Right,
state.
right.
This is statewide, and 4 separate people in those districts to
Wow.
vote against the.
So they all got it too.
Everybody did. This is a
Wow.
this is a statewide effort. Nonetheless, people look at me and they say, "Did you have something to do with this?" Let me be very clear. No, I didn't have anything to do with this. I didn't ask for it. I don't want it. And if anything, it's damaged me.
Yeah.
To the point where I looked up the person sponsoring this
Okay.
on PDC, found a
Right.
phone number, and called him yesterday morning. And it would be
Don't
rather,
repeat probably what you said, okay?
It would be an understatement to say gave him what for on
Yeah,
that.
okay.
Yelling, nonetheless.
It's not needed on either side.
I tell you, it
You
was
know,
so bad.
really.
I'm not supposed to contact anybody doing an IEP, so I thought an hour later, I thought I'm not supposed to have done that, and so I called Public Disclosure Commission and self-reported, said I contacted this guy.
But afterwards.
After, and they said, no, it's after the fact.
Yeah,
It's
right.
fine kind of thing. But I have to tell you, I couldn't stand. My message to him is the same message I put out in the Spokesman Review on Facebook.
Right.
Everyone,
And even to your opponent.
Yes, I apologized in person to my
Okay.
opponent
Right.
last weekend here. This is get out of our race. Let us run our own race.
Right.
And we'll take care of this ourselves. Everybody quit interloping in our race
Yes.
and doing this to us. And it's going both ways. There's stuff out there about me that's being put on by some of the groups that don't like me, and
Right,
it just
right.
they don't have a thing to do with either myself or my opponent.
Right.
And this is wrong in so many ways. Stay out of our race.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm glad you had a chance to explain this because, and hopefully at this point we can put it to bed.
Amen.
Anything else you want to say before we finish up here?
No, I'm happy to get on the air finally
Okay.
and just clear this up. That this is not my doing. This is the farthest thing
Yeah.
in the world from what I wanted to have happen.
And it's sick on both sides when that happens. When it happens out there that you as a candidate in your campaign have no control over, except that
None.
you have to pick up the mess afterwards because it does affect you.
And that's what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's right.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Bonnie to talk about investments and your wealth right after this.
I'm Spokane registered nurse Stevie Lynn, and I trust Jeff Holy to know what Spokane's public safety needs are.
I'm Spokane firefighter Randy Merler, and I trust Jeff Holy to know what Spokane's public safety needs are.
Both as a Spokane police officer and our state representative, Jeff Holy has shown he knows what Spokane's safety needs are. That's why I'm supporting Jeff Holy for state senator.
Paid for by Jeff Holy for Senate, Republican.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at Rada Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
Rada Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
To help you be safe, Washington state law requires you to call 811 2 full business days before you plan, for example, to dig, drill, plow, pull from, or pound anything into the ground. Be prepared to provide the operator with the correct address, cross street, and the description of your work. You must mark the dig area with white paint. The operator will inform you of the utilities notified of your impending excavation. Wait for all their marks. Be safe and dig with care.
The economy is getting stronger, banks are lending again, and interest rates are at historic lows. Now is a great time to buy your dream home. The caring and knowledgeable professionals at Homes for You have been helping people just like you for over 20 years. They take the time to listen to what you want and will help you find just the right home in Washington or Idaho. Real estate is what we do at Homes for You, 928-5782, or visit online at homes4uspokane.com.
Welcome back to the Pulse of Spokane. Kent Adams here, and it's the 24th, isn't it?
It is.
It's the 24th of October. Where did the month go?
Where'd the year go?
Yeah, I know. Well, isn't that the truth? Bonnie Bell Andersen. Did I get that correct?
You did.
Triad Wealth.
Right.
Right.
Triad Wealth Management.
Wealth Management. Let's get it all correct, okay. Right? Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
There are a number of things that we all look at as we go through life and so forth, and whether that Social Security is going to be there for young people now, and if so, what might it look like or not look like, and what other kinds of things we need to be doing. My kids are 37 through 49, 48, and they've all realized that they have to start saving because they don't know what is going to be there, like mom and dad, who can sit back in some ways with Social Security and so forth. But that first point of retirement, at least right now, is Social Security. What should we be thinking about in terms of, not for me and my age, I've been drawing it for a number of years, but for those that are looking at it in the next decade or two or four?
Well, they should be putting as much aside themselves as they possibly can.
Okay.
That's number one. Now, I can tell you, now don't hold me to this, but my belief is that Social Security will be there. I just don't know what form it's going to take in the future.
I think you're right.
I am encouraging Congress. I've talked to Kathy McMorris Rogers about this, about getting on the stick and getting the changes made to make sure that it's viable long term.
Right.
But however that works out, it will be there. But I feel like the younger generation coming up, they've got to take more personal responsibility for saving. And they just have to save more than what they're doing.
So how do they approach that?
Well, they should first spend less than they earn.
What a novel idea.
I know, isn't that a novel idea?
Yeah, if we could get the federal and state governments to start doing
that. That would even be better. Talk to Jeff about that,
yes,
right?
Set an example, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is true, right?
It is true.
Yeah.
And it's true for everybody, not only people that have a lot of money, but anybody. If we can just discipline, it gets down to the decisions that you make every day,
right?
And the discipline that you put into your life to pay yourself,
right?
And to save and not to spend every single penny that you have coming in.
Now, okay, assuming that we start doing that and we have some leftover dollars that are for investment, how do we start doing that? First, probably check with your employer to see what's available there.
Right.
Wouldn't you think?
401k. Yeah, 401ks.
Pensions are going away.
Yeah, they
for
are.
The most part.
There's a few left, but really, there's not that much.
No.
The 401k, that term 401k, that's actually a section of the IRS code.
Right.
That basically lines out how you can defer money from your paycheck.
Right.
And I tell people, if you have a 401k or a simple IRA or something that's some kind of company retirement plan, do it, because the employer is going to match that, and it's free money.
Yes.
So, and that in a lot of cases is the best way for people.
It is sort of what's left of a pension these days, really, isn't it?
Really.
Yeah.
Well, it basically shifted from the employer having responsibility for your retirement to you having responsibility for your retirement.
Yeah.
So, and that's just, there's so many things like that going that way.
What other legs are there in the stool of preparing to retire? Social Security, taking advantage of the 401k or other retirement IRAs, Roth, is it the Roth?
The Roth IRA, where you have the money has come into your checking account, and so you've paid taxes on it.
Right.
But then it grows tax-free.
Right.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, yeah, until
Theoretically.
something changes.
Until
right.
the senators decide to change something.
Yeah, we're always subject to that, aren't we? I mean,
we
it
are.
really comes down to
Yeah.
it. Yeah, yeah.
But I am a big proponent of being financially educated.
Okay.
I've taught Social Security classes at the Spokane Community College for the last 3 years.
Okay.
And the biggest thing for people to not make mistakes is to get educated. And like in the case, I'm writing a book for financial.
I wanted to get to that because I think that's kind of
professional
fun.
Athletes.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't turn out that way, but more and more I got sucked into these crazy stories of these 25-year-olds who are being handed all this money,
Right.
and then they promptly way overspend,
Right.
and get themselves into huge trouble. And so my feeling was, if they could just get themselves on track, if I can help even a few of them, then they'd be able to go out and do something great in the world and give back with their extra resources.
Well, we know they're going to buy Mom a home and
That's
have
right.
it paid for. Okay.
They are.
Yeah.
They're going to do that.
Yeah.
But they need to, just like any of the rest of us, they need to set a budget,
Right.
decide how much they're going to spend every month,
Right. Right.
and then not, and try not to deviate from it. For the case of athletes, there's a lot of pressure to buy everybody in the bar
Yes.
a drink.
Yes.
Or
cars or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Yes.
The stories are crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's one example out there that's Ron Gronkowski, who people will recognize as being on the New England Patriots. He doesn't spend a penny of the money he gets for being a football player with that team.
Oh, wow.
He saves all of it. Now, a lot of these cases, they have endorsements. He
Yes.
uses his endorsement money to live. But
Okay.
he's a great case of a player.
Thinking long term.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they could so totally set themselves up for financial security if they kind of scale back and not give in to the pressure.
Wow.
In the case of normal, regular Americans,
The rest of us.
The rest of us.
99% of us, yeah.
I mean, the principles are the same.
Yeah.
It's spend less than you earn, be financially educated.
Right.
Be thinking long term. Think about how are the ways that life could go sideways.
Yeah. Yeah.
And prepare for those and hope for the best, but plan for the worst.
Now, where are you in this book? I've got to ask that question because you're getting kind of
I'm
close.
getting close.
Yeah.
I have been writing the manuscript for, it started like 6 years ago, and then I had an issue with a daughter who was diagnosed with cancer. Everything was put to the side. She has survived, and she's going on.
Good.
But it's been the last 2 years that I've really taken this up. I hired a book coach, and the manuscript is just about done. I'm about to send it to a proofreader, and then I'm going to be going into and you're going to be helping me with the launching of this book.
Yes.
And so that will be happening. I'm hoping to have the whole proofreading, editing part done by the end of the year.
Oh, fun. That'll be fun. And maybe we can bring an athlete in or something,
I
too.
know.
Wouldn't that
Wouldn't
be
that be
fun?
fun?
That would really be fun. Because we've all, unfortunately, seen the stories of folks that, even in Hollywood and other places, who are now in the retirement homes and everything else because they spent their wad of money.
Yeah.
They made millions of dollars and they went through it.
Yeah.
And so forth.
What a
They tried to
waste.
be, yes. And in fact, my wife mentioned the other day, are we buying a lotto ticket and so forth?
Yeah.
And her response was, well, we put $1 million or $2 million in savings or whatever, invest it, and the rest we invest in the community.
Do you know
and
my
other
reaction?
Things.
My reaction this morning when I heard that somebody
someone did
win,
win, yes.
and I went, oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Because it's like 99.9% guaranteed that they have no idea what to do. So hopefully they're going to get good help.
The first two things I've always said when someone asks you what would you do if you win, one is I'd hire security for myself and my
That's
family.
right, yes.
Okay, and number two, a financial expert who can come in and do that.
Yes.
And those would be the first two things, because you can worry about the rest later, but you want to be sure everyone is safe and that you do the right things, because there are better ways to invest it and so forth. So
That's right.
okay, great information. How can people, Bonnie, get in touch with you?
Well, they can. I have my office in the flour mill.
Okay.
I'm on the 6th floor of the flour mill.
Okay.
And
do you have a good view?
I do.
Oh.
I have an amazing view of the river and
So we got to
the
come see you
pavilion.
just for that.
Yeah, I do. That when somebody comes in my office for the first time,
Yes.
that's the very first thing I do is say, "Come on over to the
Yeah,
window and take a look at the river."
Okay, so I've got to come over and see see
Yes,
your spot. You've
yes.
always come here, so
Right.
I've got to come over and see the spot. So in the flour mill, but how can people get in touch with you in terms of I assume you would take clients if they called and sit
Yes,
down with them
yes.
and talk about what
we
your
do is
cost
go
would be,
through-
what they would
right.
need. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we go
phone
through
number?
The phone number is 509.
Yes.
822.
Okay.
1082.
And again, the name of the company is?
Triad Wealth Management.
Okay. You're on Facebook?
We're on Facebook.
Are you
I
on
do
the
have a
website as well?
Yes.
Okay.
And website and LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're all where all of us are today.
I hope we're all hooked up.
We don't exist if we're not on LinkedIn
That's right,
and Facebook
I know.
Okay. Bonnie, thank you very much. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to maybe after the first of the year, the book and
Yes.
hearing more
It's
about
gonna
it,
be
because
exciting.
I think while you talk about for athletes, the points that you're going to make, I'm guessing, are going to be the ones that we ought to be listening to as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
so-
it applies to anybody.
Yeah, yeah. When we can dream that we have millions.
I
to do
know.
it.
They just happen to have all this money and then
Yeah.
they don't know what to do with it. So, yeah.
Okay.
I wanna change
Thank you
that.
for coming in
Thank
today.
you.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about what's on the ballot. You may already have your ballot. You may have already voted. If you haven't, we're going to talk about the school district bond issues, very important for our community, right after this.
Property tax, property tax. I'm Tom Konis, and I want to be your next Spokane County assessor. Property taxes are an area that affects our pocketbooks. Don't you want fair and equitable property tax assessments? I have 25 years' experience working in the assessor's office. I am supported by members of all political beliefs. Politics has no place in the assessor's office. Everyone needs treated the same. I'm Tom Konis, and I'm asking for your vote on November 6th.
Paid for by Tom Konis for Assessor, Republican.
They say it takes a community to raise a family. It also takes one to build a business. I came to Spokane 12 years ago as a Whitworth student, and I planned to leave after graduation. But the more I got to know this community, the more I wanted to become a part of it. My husband and I have built our business in Spokane, and now we're raising our family here too. We operate a consulting company that provides creative business development strategies. Our approach is holistic and dependent on intentional connections and relationships. And no one understands connections and relationships better than GSI. They direct momentum towards investments in our community, provide resources that help business leaders connect, and they're dedicated and passionate about making Spokane great. GSI gives me the confidence to build my business here because they believe every organization, even a small one like mine, adds big value to our community. With GSI's help, Spokane will be a place my son will want to build his career too. I'm Eva Marquette, owner of Freshview. We're creating something greater with Greater Spokane Incorporated.
Hi, this is Kurt Stockwell with Well Dressed Walrus. We are a local website design and development company here in Spokane. What we do is build beautiful, usable websites for local businesses. A website needs to be beautiful, it needs to be usable for your users, your customers, and yourself. Contact us anytime. We'd love to talk with you about your online marketing.
What? You haven't been to the library lately? Stop in today and see that the library is more than books. Spokane County Library District facilities feature on-site technology, including Wi-Fi, computers, and printers, as well as free use of meeting rooms. The Library District offers events and programs for all ages, from story times to career development and employer classes to Social Security workshops. Our staff is well trained and happy to help. Find out more about your library at scld.org. Well, it's election time, in case you hadn't noticed. No, you noticed. Everybody noticed. It's a fun time. I voted, and I voted for what we're going to talk about, okay? My wife did as well. And most of the people I talk to, I'm a grandfather. I don't have kids in school anymore, okay? But my grandkids go to school in District 81. And it's important. Education is important. And we're very fortunate in the Spokane area here, not only with District 81, but the other schools, outlying schools. We have great public schools here, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Exceptional.
Dr. Redinger, am I saying it right?
Redinger. Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Redinger. I always think of Tiger. Redinger, Tiger.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, you're the superintendent of schools, and all this comes under your responsibility. Do you feel the weight sometimes?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
you know we
It's a lot of responsibility, isn't it?
We
Yeah.
want the very best for our students, and we want parents and community to feel involved and be involved because these are their schools.
Right. I noticed in just a quick glance this morning at the materials and so forth that Brian sent over, and it really comes down to there are really 4 parts of this bond issue, if you will, and what's coming down. The first is kind of and what I would call an historic move. And what is that?
It really is. It is a partnership that really is unprecedented with the city
Right.
of Spokane, with the library system and with land, so that the school district isn't having to purchase land. The
Right.
city is giving it to us.
Everybody their own little territory like in the past, right?
So I think it's really, everyone's working together for the good of our community, for taxpayers.
Yes.
And I think that what will come out is a really, really positive thing for our community.
Now, we have not done a real large bond issue for a number of years. How long has it been?
Well, we've been doing them every 6 years.
Okay,
And
but
so-
not as big as we're talking about
no,
now,
this-
right? I mean, this
right.
is kind of a catch-up over the last couple of decades, really, isn't it?
It is, and it is actually, we're going sooner. We would have waited till 2021.
Okay.
And going sooner actually will save some money because of cost escalation
Yes,
as well.
yes.
So you're right. This is the largest that we've ever gone out for, wanting to do all the middle schools together.
Right. Yeah. Okay, the first part of it is Joe Albee. Everybody knows where Joe Albee is. Everybody who's been in Spokane for the last decade or more knows where Joe Albee is. And we've been there for high school games because high school football games are really popular in Spokane. What's going on there?
Well, we're trying to decide what to do with the stadium.
Right.
As you know, it is really too big.
Yes.
30,000, it's really not utilized to its full capacity anymore.
Yeah.
And we do need to keep that up. So that is a lot of excess money that we have to put into
Right.
it to keep up all those stands, 30,000.
Yeah.
We really need more like 5.
Okay.
And then also, one of the middle school sites to build a new middle school is right there by the stadium.
Okay.
And we need to have a lot of the area for parking and where the stadium is to build that new middle school with fields.
Okay.
And so the thought is either to rebuild a smaller Joe Albee right next to the new middle school, or we're asking voters, would they rather have it moved downtown?
Now, there are a lot of us who think downtown makes a lot of sense. Are you hearing that?
And that's, really, we want to really hear it through the
Yeah.
vote. So that's why it's an advisory vote.
Right.
Which
It's
would you
not
prefer?
technically a deciding vote. It's an advisory vote, right?
Yes.
Then who
Yes.
makes the final decision on the location?
So the school board
Okay.
will really look carefully at what the voters
Right,
said.
right.
And if it's close, they'll do some more polling and check it out. I'll really encourage them to do that.
Right,
to do
right.
more polling, check
Right.
it out, talk to our community more.
Right.
If it's not close, I think that gives them pretty clear
direction,
You know,
yeah.
so is it a mandate or not? They'll kind of know by those
Right,
numbers.
right. So one of the things that I thought was really interesting, and we talk about this as parents, as educators, as class size issue.
Yes.
Yeah. Has that kind of gotten out of hand the last few years a little bit?
Well,
the growth?
Fortunately, we are growing.
Yes.
But fortunately, we're up about 200 students than we had projected this year.
Okay.
But one thing we have found is we only did receive new state dollars for K-3. So, and we
Oh.
don't have enough space, though, to really lower those class sizes in our elementaries with the current grade configuration. So part of this bond helps us move our 6th graders to the middle schools.
Right.
And then we have much more space at our elementary schools for K-5.
Yeah, because it's really a time to redo some of our, what you call middle schools, old school here calls them junior high, okay? Sometimes we just can't change after 70 some years, okay? But you're talking about some new middle schools.
Right. So there
Okay.
would be, to make this shift into 6, 7, 8 models,
Right.
we would build 3 new middle schools.
Okay, and those would be?
And those would be, one would be at this Joe Albee site,
Right.
by the
Okay.
stadium.
Right.
Another would be by Mullen Road Elementary.
Okay, okay.
There's some
On the
land
South
there,
Hill.
on the South Hill.
Right.
And then the other site would be Foothills, drive right across the street from Gonzaga Prep as you're going up
Okay.
towards Shaw area.
Yeah, is that the old, there was a city facilities there?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Mounds of dirt and rock.
Yes, yes.
So that's where the
old
3 new
buildings and I mean,
Yes.
it's a really old site.
It is. And the Logan Neighborhood Council, we met with them. They're very excited about getting a school there with fields.
Yes.
We do have a shortage of play fields for soccer on the weekends. For,
Right.
You know, the really small little soccer players up
Yeah.
to the bigger ones. There's no place really to practice. And so this
Right.
would be helpful.
Okay, so walk me through, because it was a week or 10 days ago when I voted. I'm one of those who, when you get the ballot, I swear, except once in a while, to vote within 24 hours and get it in the mail. Okay, that's just how I do it. Okay, my wife was, I think, 36 hours. But anyway, so what is on the ballot? 1, 2, or 3 issues?
Yes, very good point.
Yeah.
So we couldn't legally put the libraries and the school district as one because
Okay.
of our different taxing
Okay,
authority. They're,
sure.
they're a little bit different because
Okay.
the libraries have a little bit of the county. Or no, excuse me, they don't have any of the county. We do. We have
Yeah,
a little bit of the county.
Right.
So there are 3 items. There's one box for the school district,
Okay.
which includes the middle schools and some of these other projects,
Right.
Including the stadium. And then there's another one for the libraries,
Okay,
which is
okay.
about 77 million for the libraries. And then this third item is this advisory
Is
vote
advisory vote, yeah.
about where would people like to see the stadium.
Right, right. I even caught myself on that one when I went down to it. I checked the first one, meaning Joe Albee, and I had to put a line
Oh.
through it and correct it to downtown. I just, you're going down the
Yeah,
ballot
yeah.
and not reading everything as closely as one should. So, okay. Where can people get more information? Because I'm sure there are questions out there, and we want people to be educated as they vote.
Yes, very much so. And this
Yeah.
is there's a lot of moving parts to this bond. And with all of the partnerships with the city as well.
Absolutely.
So we definitely want people to be informed about what is on there. So go to our district website.
Okay.
There's a lot of information there. There's a video that's on that
Yes.
website that really lays out the whole plan. Also, the city website has a lot of information. And then, of course, shows like yours. That's a good way to get that information.
Good. Thank you very much. Let's get some yes votes and vote B on the. I can put my own because I kind of want it downtown. I think there's some advantage in terms of traffic not going up to Joe Albee and some things like that, and the downtown synergy. And we're doing such a great job with bringing in sports and so forth
Yes,
to
good
Spokane that I just think there's that synergy that's good. But that's my feeling. You folks vote the way you feel that you believe in. That's what's important. Thank you for coming today, and let's go get them, right?
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks. Hey, thanks for watching today. Hope you have a good week. We'll see you back here next Wednesday at 12 noon. Take care.
The Pulse of Spokane is produced in Spokane, Washington by Spokane Talks Media, which is solely responsible for its content. The Pulse of Spokane is brought to you in part by Breakthrough Incorporated and Homes for You. Ask a question, recommend a guest, and hear this program again online anytime at SpokaneTalksMedia.com. We wish you a great day.